Welcome to Faith in Action, a platform where we encourage each other to live out our beliefs through our words, choices, and behaviors. Today I'm going to be talking about how we can make sense of the waiting season. The waiting season is the period in your life when you pray and ask God for something. It could be a job, a financial breakthrough, a healthy body, or a good relationship, or a good partner. But God hasn't responded yet to your prayers. The waiting season is a painful season. It is characterized by delay, uncertainty, anxiety, and even frustration. It feels as if God has completely forgotten about us. We wish God could have responded quickly to our prayers. Hence, we ask God why it's taking so long. So, if you are praying for something to happen in your life, probably you want to start your own business, but you don't know where or how to start. Or you are looking for a partner because you feel lonely. Or you have lost your job and you're asking God to give you another one. I would like you to know that God hasn't forgotten about you. You are a chosen and loved child of God. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you." Very, very important verse to note there. That God knows you as an individual and not as a collective. Isaiah 43 verse 4 says, "Because you are precious in my eyes and honored, and I love you." You are honored by God. You are loved by God. You are precious in His eyes. That on its own must tell you the value that you have as a person, as an individual. So God cannot forget His own child or His own creation. If us humans who are finite or limited cannot forget our own children, how about God who is infinite? He can never forget us. God's delay is not a punishment. It is not as if we have done something wrong. It is not as if we don't believe enough or because it is our fault. Not at all. We must note that waiting is not a form of a punishment. It is actually a preparation. Waiting is God's way of strengthening our faith and teaching us to trust in Him. Joseph waited in prison before he could rule Egypt. Genesis 39. Of importance also to note the story of Abraham and Sarah in Genesis 21. After getting married at a very young age, they spent most of their life without a child. And yet they remained hopeful and faithful to God, trusting that one day God was going to give them a child. It was only when they were around their 90s that God responded to their prayers and gave them a son. That on its own goes to show that there is nothing impossible with God. No matter how bad the situation, that you find yourself is, God can fix it for you. No matter how challenging the situation or the circumstances that you find yourself in at this moment, God is the solution. God is the answer to your problems. For us, it might feel as if nothing is happening. Yet God is working behind the scenes to put everything in place for you. By touching and changing hearts, opening doors, and placing resources at your doorsteps, thus setting you up for success. But because we can't see it, we feel as if God is doing nothing to answer our prayers. John chapter 20, verse 29 says, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe." Despite the fact that God hasn't answered your prayers, you must continue to believe that God is going to answer them. That is the place of belief in the life of a Christian. That is the place of faith in the life of a Christian. Never doubt God's love for you and that your prayers are going to be answered. Do not be discouraged by the delay in God's answers to your prayers. Remain steadfast in prayer. Remember that God acts on behalf of those who wait for Him. Isaiah 64, verse 4. Cultivate a deeper relationship with God through constant prayer, because regular communication with God will transform your frustration and anxiety into hope, faith, and trust in God. And these three will carry you through your waiting season, making it easier for you to navigate your way through this challenging season. When you totally surrender to God, He will act on your behalf. Waiting teaches you that God's timing is the best. It is actually the most perfect time. His delays are not His denials. Be patient and hopeful, because He has bigger and better plans for you. While you only see what is happening now, God sees into the future. While your knowledge is limited, God is all-knowing. His knowledge is beyond limits. Allow Him to lead the way. He knows it better than you do. Trust in Him. Have total faith in Him, and your waiting season will be lighter to bear. You are not going to wait forever. This season shall also pass, just like other seasons. And your season of abundance shall come. Continue to hold on to the faith. Thank you so very much for watching this video. Enjoy your day. Bye for now.